So I thought I would do a what's in my camera bag for 2025 because I can. So I've got two different bags. This one's digital cameras and this one's film cameras. At the minute I'm mostly doing street photography, or trying to. Still new to it though, but I want to get back into woodland and coastal photography as well. So going to be trying to do more of that in 2025. Anyway, I'll show all of the digital cameras that I use for street photography as well, and film cameras, because it depends. I've got that many cameras, it just depends on what I want to use on the day. So I'll start off with the digital first. Bag doesn't really matter, but it's a Maxpedition Fatboy S-Type. It's not a camera bag brand, but anyway, four is what I usually carry. I've got two main cameras that I usually carry. Just got a spare battery for it. It's a Sony. Both of the main cameras are Sony, so same batteries fit them. And then here, got the original A7. I don't see any need to go to any other camera. Sony A7's more than good enough for street photography. It's also a good holiday camera as well. They're cheap now. I think this was for 450 or something like that pound. Just for the body. They're probably cheaper than that now though. I got this a while back. But anyway, I always use vintage lenses because I've got loads of vintage lenses. My dad was a photographer for a lot of years, so he's got a lot of camera gear. So he gives his lenses all the time, so I just use vintage lenses because that's mostly what I'm used to and a lot of what I've got. I've only got two digital lenses for the Sonys. They're both kit lenses. I've got the 18 to, I forgot what it is now, it's this one. 18 to 55 I think it is. Yeah. 16 to 50. And I've got the, I think it's a 28 to 70. But I never really used them. So this is the one I use most often. It's 50mm Nikkor f1.8. And then here, Nikon 35mm 2.8. That's mostly what I use for street photography with the digital cameras. And then in here, oh, got another lens in here. Sigma 70 to 210mm 5.6, or 4 to 5.6. And I got a GoPro. I keep on going between the GoPros because I've got a lot of them as well. I just got the 4K tiny, but the batteries, that's not the 4K, that's the 11. Like you see, I've got a lot of them. Where's the 4K? Somewhere. I had it just before. Oh, whatever. One that I'm mostly using is the 9. I just like this one. I've also got the newer 11. I've got the 11 mini as well, and the full size 11, and the Hero 12. In fact, there's the little Oster right there. That's the 4K. It is tiny and very compact, but you've got to have a portable battery charger with this because the battery on it's not that good. It lasts about an hour and then it dies. And it's a built-in battery, which I don't really like, but thought I would get it because it's nice and small, compact. But this one's a lot better, the Hero 9. That's like this one out of all of the ones that I've got. And I've got spare batteries for it in here, which also doubles as a battery charger as well. By Maxam, I think it is. Maxcam. I think that's everything that's in there. That's what I've been using mostly at the minute. But also use the E6000 still. I managed to get it fixed. I had to do a factory reset and a firmware update as well on it. Every now and then it still does that annoying thing, but yeah. I've also dropped it and it's got a shift there. Camera never wants to focus, but whatever. So those two are mostly the digital ones that I use. But I've also got a new one, Nikon D700. In all of the lenses here, they'll fit this camera without adapters because that's how Nikon made the digital cameras, so they could still use their old lenses. The new ones though, I think the Z mounts won't fit this. But yeah. It's basically a Nikon D3. It's full frame, awesome. And I love the Nikon D3. It's just a little bit too bulky for street photography. But I'll still get around using it for that every now and then. And I also want to start using my old Nikon D3 200 as well. So that's going to get some use for the street photography. So I'm going to be using the D700 for woodland and coastal photography mostly. But yeah. So digital cameras. So the film bag, mostly use rangefinders. But yeah, I've got a Hero 8 in this one. Really like that one as well. And film, mostly use Kentmere 400. But I'm also going to be using Ilford Delta 400 as well. And then I've got a thing for mounting the camera to the camera, or mounting the GoPro to the camera. Depends on how I want to mount it. I don't really mount it on myself. I like the chest mounted POV shots, but I feel like they draw too much attention to you. And this kind of hides the GoPro a bit when it's attached to the camera, I find anyway. So this one mounts into the tripod mount of the camera, so hangs under. If I want to put it on the cold shoe, I'll use this one. And that's it. Got a lens cloth. I've also got one in the digital camera bag as well, but forgot to show that one. It is right here though, it's a Nikon one. Same thing. Different brand, probably made by the same people though. I do have a digital camera as well, just a small compact one. It's a Sony HX60V. Not the world's most expensive one, but I like it. And I also got a colour film as well. I've got Kodak Gold 200 in this one. This is the S2. I don't carry that in there. I just stick in there when I put it in the bag. So if it's been in there in a while, I know what film's in it. In fact, it's not Kodak Gold 200, it's Ultramax 400. So there you go, good job I put that in there because I thought it was something else. I would have had it for 200 anyway. It's the L2 by Canon, just like the Canon P. A few differences with a 52mm lens and a cheap lens hood, which I've already broke. I've had to glue it down there. And that's it for that. Try and go a bit minimalist. The other cameras, two main ones are going to be the L2 and this one, which is like a 2F I think it is, or a 2C. And a Canon 7. The only really modern camera that I've got, which is an SLR, is a Nikon F801, which is a really awesome camera. So as far as accessories, I don't really carry a lot, just spare batteries and a lens cloth. And I've got a light meter for the rangefinders, which is TT Artisan Meter 2, which is okay. It's tiny, so I like it for that. I would prefer to have a Minolta light meter. This one nails the exposure. That one just gives you pretty much generic readouts. Like if it's sunny, it'll just tell you to put 16. So with a Minolta, it's a lot better, which I can recommend if you can find it. It's an Autometer Model 3, made in Japan. Dad used that when he did his wedding photography, so it was good enough for him. It's good enough for me. I don't carry the tripod, but for woodland and coastal photography, I got a new toy. It's a K&F Concept M1. Originally got it for travelling, but it's too heavy for travelling. It weighs a ton. I watched a few reviews on it before I bought it, and everybody was saying it's super lightweight and light aluminium, blah blah blah. But turns out, I'm guessing those were being paid to do those reviews. It is heavy. Weighs about the same as the D3. Maybe it's a little heavier than that. But yeah, that's just for woodland and coastal. Don't carry that for street. But anyway, that's my camera bags and cameras I'm going to be using in 2025. Try and get some coastal and woodland photography out as well.